Hello everyone. So today we are going to revise the first chapter of English book Beehive for class ninth, and the chapter's name is The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. This chapter is basically an imaginary chapter where the author Isaac has imagined the advancement of the technology in year 2155. He has imagined that how the classrooms are going to be in the coming years. So here we go. So before we proceed further with the chapter explanation, let's first talk about the very famous author Isaac Asimov. He was born on 22nd January 1920 in Russia. He was considered as a very famous writer. He was a professor of biochemistry in a college. He has edited more than 500 books in his career. He was very much specialized in writing imaginary stories, fictions based on hard science and technological advancement. And the chapter, The Fun They Had, is the best example of one of his creations. He died on 6th April 1992 in New York, United States of America. This chapter is basically, as we have talked earlier, about the imagination, that how the technology is going to get advanced in the centuries coming year, and how the life of student is going to be. So before we start with the chapter, let's talk about the learning goals of the chapter. The first and the foremost learning goal of this chapter is to know about a futuristic story full of advancement. So when you will read the chapter, you will get to know that here in this chapter we are going to talk about all kind of technology and the advancement in the technology in the coming years. Moving to the next learning goal, to know about the study pattern to be used in the future. So with this chapter, you will get to know that what is going to be the study pattern in the coming time, how the students are going to acquire knowledge. The third one, to get the message that we should always be curious to learn new things in life. And it's very truly said. Like, unless and until you are curious to learn new things in life, you won't feel interested in learning these things. And this is what the next learning goal says, that we should always feel interested and we should always create interest in us to learn new things, because that enhances our knowledge and we get to learn many new things. Moving ahead, let's take a summary of this chapter in a short. So basically, as we have talked about in the beginning of this session, that the chapter is about an imaginary time where we are going to talk about that how advanced the science is going to be and how the technology is going to rule on us. Here, the two main characters are Tommy and Margie, where Tommy finds a real book. Real book here means a book made of paper where the words were printed. So fortunately, he gets to find a real book in the attic of his house. He shows that book to Margie and starts the discussion. They both get to know that this book is talking about the school, the physical school in the year which was centuries back from that particular time. Margie shared her experience that her grandfather has told her that how their school used to be and how they all used to go to school and how they used to read a real book where the words used to be stable still. They never used to move as the words move on an e-book on the screen of the computer. They further discussed about their academic performance, where Margie shares that her performance in geography session is deteriorating day by day. And that was the reason why she hated her geography teacher too much. Although from the very beginning she was not at all interested in school, but due to her degrading marks, her interest in geography also decreased. But when the county inspector was called by Margie's mother, it was discovered that it was not the fault of the girl, but the level of the technical teacher was set to a higher level. So, with the help of his understanding, county inspector had set the level of that robot teacher, that mechanical teacher, to the age of Margie, that is 10 years of age. Further, in this chapter, we will get to know that after a long discussion about the qualities of the real book, the real school, and as compared to the time in 2155, they finally came to the conclusion that it was really a great fun studying in the real school. Now, the most important part of the chapter is that how both the children have compared the old school, that is the real school in year, that is the present time, and to the school as compared to their time, that is the new school or the technical school. So the first difference between these two schools were that nowadays the schools are a physical school. There's a building where students go and they study. Whereas in year 2155, they are going to have a technical school, like they will be having machine and the school is going to be in their houses. So this is the second difference, that in today's time, there's a school building where students gather together to acquire knowledge. But in year 2155, their school is going to be in their houses. They will not be going anywhere. The next difference is that in today's school or in the school in the olden days, the students used to sit together. The students of the same age used to sit together in the same class and they were taught by a real human teacher. Whereas if we compare it to the school in 2155, the students are going to stay in their homes. They would be taking the knowledge individually. They will be sitting alone in their rooms and they will be solving all their problems without any help. The next difference is that in the physical school, the teacher is going to be a human being. The teachers are human beings. As you can see, that we are human beings. We are guiding you in the classes. Whereas in the centuries later time, maybe the robots are going to be your teachers. And overall, they come to the conclusion that in the real school, it's a lot of enjoyment. Children enjoy a lot. They share their things. They care for each other and they help each other in doing the work, which is very much missing in the technical school. And at last, after the description of the chapter, we'll get to know the moral of the chapter. The first moral, which we are going to learn, is we should always enjoy our present life. You never know how your future is going to be. So it's better to enjoy your present and live it to the fullest. The second moral which you might learn is that physical schools are far better than the technical schools. And I don't think that we need to think more about it. Like you are facing the online classes and you have experience that going to the school, sitting with your friends, enjoying, sharing, caring, spending your recess time together is far more fun than sitting alone in your room and taking the classes on the computers. And next is, we should always be ready to learn new things in life. Unless and until you are not ready to accept new things in life, to get ready to learn new things in life, you are not going to get anything. So before learning, you need to make yourself prepared that yes, I am going to learn these things. So I hope this would have helped you to revise the first chapter of the English book Beehive, and it is definitely going to help you out in going through the summary, learning goal, and moral of the chapter. So that's all for today. We'll get back in the next chapter. Thank you.